Weedons is located just south of Christchurch at 286 Jones Road, Rolleston. It's halfway between Rolleston and Templeton, and it's near the Cookie Time factory, so if you like cookies you can stop in and buy bags of factory seconds. If you're driving from Christchurch you can follow along Jones Road. I avoid taking State Highway 1 as it's difficult making a right turn across State Highway 1 to get to Weedons, so I take Jones Road instead. You'll see the entrance to a narrow lane and there is a blue sign that says Jungle Toys on one side and it has a New Zealand Motor Caravan sign on the other. The narrow lane is only wide enough for one vehicle, so if someone's coming the other way you'll need to both pull off to the side to let each other through. Also, this narrow lane has a lot of potholes, so watch out for those. Weedons has fresh water, a dump station, rubbish and recycling, a communal living room with tables and chairs, 2 toilets, a coin-operated dryer but no washing machine, and it has a nice reserve with native trees. Next to the native tree area is a fenced-off dog run where you can let your dog run free. At the back of Weedons is an area for winter caravan storage. Watch out for the potholes at Weedons. The main ring road is fine, but the roads leading off this have some deep potholes that you'll need to avoid. I'd never stayed at a New Zealand Motor Caravan Association park before, so I contacted the custodian a week before my stay to ask if I could book a space, but she said the park was only 10% full and I can just show up and sign the book and pay at the time. Apparently the New Zealand Motor Caravan Association parks operate on a first come first serve basis rather than having a booking system, so people just log in on the website and check the Weedons page to see how full the park is. So if you're like me and you've never stayed at one before, that's how it works. The cost is $5 per night per adult, and children stay free. Payments made via the private members login area. Power's not available here and you're not allowed to charge your phone or other electronic devices in the communal sitting area either. I checked the weather forecast before staying to ensure I get enough solar energy to last my time without electricity. You can either fill up with fresh water as you're driving in, or there are freshwater taps located sporadically around the fence line. If you want to fill up as you drive in, the tap is located behind the communal room next to the rubbish and recycling area. Since hardly anyone was around, I was able to choose a spot in front of a freshwater tap on the fence and fill up there. Don't forget to bring a tap fitting though, because the taps do not have hose fittings on them. The first night I stayed there I woke up to see the ground was covered in snow, but a few days later it melted away and I was able to walk around the nice reserve and photograph the beautiful kowhai trees. I'll show the photos at the end of the video. Weedons also has beautiful sunsets and sunrises. Weedons Park is much more relaxed than a holiday park. The holiday parks tend to be quite strict with check-in and check-out times, but at Weedons I saw people arrive early in the morning and leave late in the afternoon the next day. Because the park was mostly empty, no one minded, but I think in summertime if it's quite busy it would probably be annoying for others arriving and searching for a space if people haven't departed before noon. I use Wireless Nation as my internet provider, and I found wireless coverage was good here. A speed test showed my wireless internet speed was fast. When I tested my mobile phone's internet speed, the speed test said it was very slow. I used 2 Degrees as my mobile provider, and I found both my phone reception and phone internet was bad with 2 Degrees. Luckily, wireless internet coverage was really good. So how noisy is it? Weedons is about 15 kilometres from Christchurch Airport, and it's directly on the flight path, so planes coming from the south pass overhead with lowered landing gear. The pilots use reverse thrust to decelerate the planes prior to landing, so you'll certainly hear the noise of the engines. The last plane flies over at about 12:30 or 1 AM. The only other source of noise is that some people have large caravans or trucks that they power using petrol or diesel generators, and these can be quite noisy and smelly. Most people use silent solar panels, but there are some people who run these noisy generators on sunny days instead of just using solar panels like everyone else. It can ruin the peaceful off-grid feel of the park when these noisy diesel generators are running, particularly on a sunny day, as I said. In terms of safety, I felt safe here because the park's located down a narrow lane that only members and a few neighbours use. There was one night when some noisy bogans drove down the lane and I heard them swearing and being rowdy, but they got bored quickly and left after a short time, so it wasn't an issue. Just be aware that the toilets are not very clean because it's a non-profit park managed by volunteers, and you'll probably need to bring toilet paper and soap if you want to use them. I use my own Caravan bathroom, and especially since there's a dump station at Weedons, there's no reason to use the toilets. Something that is annoying about the New Zealand Motor Caravan Association is that members are only allowed to stay at a park for 10 nights out of 30, so even in the middle of winter when there's almost no one around, you still can't stay more than 10 nights out of 30. It seems like a bit of a senseless rule during winter, and I've heard a few members complaining about this, especially since there are so few New Zealand Motor Caravan parks in this area. It would be easier if the limit was increased to 15 nights instead. Overall, it was great staying at Weedons for a few nights, and I definitely recommend staying at this park. All the best, happy travels, bye!